Thank you so much for your kind introduction. Honorable CEO of Jeju Tourism Organization, Madam Go Eun-soo, and distinguished guests, esteemed colleague and friend. I wish I could be sitting right next to you and being able to say, good morning, Jeju. Like most of my fellow Koreans, Jeju Island is one of my favorite destinations for both work and my personal holiday. And I clearly remember that I have visited Jeju Island 4 times in the year of 2019 only. And whenever I was heading for Jeju Island, all of my family members and close friends and colleagues, they were so jealous of me. And I never thought that I would be the one who is so jealous of you guys in being a part of the beautiful Jeju Island next to the Ocelot green tea plantation and close to the Pacific Ocean. And first and foremost, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the Jeju Tourism Organization for your kind invitation to the UNWTO. And UNWTO is committed working with you to make the tourism as a pillar of qualitative growth and sustainable development in this very difficult time of the year and crisis. And I am confident that our well-established working relations with Jeju Tourism Organization will have advanced this very important agenda. So with that, allow me to start my presentation that I was given for 15 minutes. And there are 5 components in my presentation: that qualitative growth and sustainable development of global tourism industry in the age of COVID-19. And because of my time, limited time, my presentation will be very brief and try to highlight those keywords in the first impact of COVID-19 on tourism in Asia and the Pacific. And secondly, what this rollout of vaccination means for the tourism industry and outlook for normalization of international tourism and how the traveler behavior has been changed in time of COVID-19. And lastly, I would like to give some policy recommendation to Jeju Island to maintain the competitive destination. So without further ado, the impact of COVID-19 on tourism in Asia and the Pacific. As you may remember that last year that the world suffered and we had minus 73% worldwide. And actually Asia and the Pacific is the first to suffer and the most. And last year, Asia Pacific had 84% decrease. And the first 5 months of this year also had minus 95% decrease compared to the year of 2019. And if you remember 2019, we had historical achievement with almost 5 billion international tourist arrival, which means that every day we almost receive almost 4 million international tourists. But we lost 1 billion international tourist arrival, which means that we lost 2.7 million tourists every day. And that means we went back to the level of 30 years ago, in those 1991 and 2. And certainly the rollout of vaccination were being able to restore the confidence for the consumer and resuming the international air route, in particular different reasons, and being able to create a few lot other travel bubbles among countries, and even among the region, the good example of European Union, what they call digital green certificate, certainly is the travel and entry restriction. And I trust the decision made by the government of Korea to give exemption of 2 weeks quarantine requirement is a great initiative and good example. And I will be very much interested to see the impact of this great initiative in a few months, so that the other destinations can see how that made a positive impact. And unfortunately, the rollout of the vaccine was not even from country to country and region to region. And North America and Europe had more number, more than 30%, those people vaccinated per 100 population. And unfortunately, Asia is not even double the number, but 6%. And for the outlook for normalization of international tourism, and you see immediately when the World Health Organization announced the COVID-19 as pandemic, the UNWTO established what it called Global Tourism Crisis Committee, composed of other UN agencies like WHO and the UNWTO representative from the members, and including the industry leaders like WTTC and CLIA, the Cruise Lines International Association. And we had 9 crisis committee meetings since its inception in March last year. And we launched a lot of guidelines and initiatives. And one example is that UNWTO IATA destination tracker, in which you can get the latest and the ultimate information and data. And for example, if you click on the current air travel regulation, that you will see the option that restriction level here. You click, you get information on the global outcome. You see the 7% of worldwide destination apply full restriction. And in the meantime, you can also get the result by different reasons. And Asia and the Pacific apply 22% of restriction for their international border. And here you see a better picture worldwide, the application of their international border, that this blue color, this makes a complete closure of international border. You see most of Asian countries here. And this slide shows the evolution of travel restriction in Asia and the Pacific, according to the report what UNWTO latest last, the 1st of July reported that there was no substantial change from April last year up to June this year. 70% of all destinations in Asia and the Pacific completely closed their border. In the meantime, only 9% of destinations applied some requirement for the testing and the quarantine. And here you here you see the actual data from January last year up to April of this year, that you see 97% decrease that last March and April, and there's a little bit improvement during the summer holiday season last year, and then down, and then now we are going a little bit up. And depending on gradual the easing of the restriction and when we get better, the improvement in consumer confidence. If it is in July that we are anticipating minus 63% decrease, and in September minus 75% compared to the level of last year. But according to the panel of experts of UNWTO, anticipate to reach those level of 1.5 billion in the year of 2019 won't be realized until by the end of 2023, if not 2024. And now for briefly, let's see how the travel, the pattern and their behavior change in time of COVID-19. And of course, even in their domestic tourism destination, they tend to travel much closer from their hometown, and they are looking for more like nature and rural tourism. And obviously, the new concern is on the health and safety measure and how they get the policy on the cancellation. And people tend to make a booking very last minute. And of course, younger generation travelers are more resilient and more brave to travel, and they are more responsible when they are traveling. Even in the destination, they behave much more responsible. And this is the last part for the policy recommendation. And before that, I thought it is worth to share the outcome of the survey that we had listened to all the members of UNWTO. And we received 90% of response. And our members in Asia, more than 53 and 59% as the key opportunity for the next 3 years. They were being able to rethink tourism in a more sustainable manner, and digital transformation to boost innovation as a great opportunity. In the meantime, the Ministry of Culture, Sport and Tourism of Korea, they identified the most significant opportunity is Korea was being able to get improvement of the country's overall image and awareness as a tourist destination because of positive message that we got through the Korean culture and what it called Korean wave, and also the early response and containment of the COVID-19. And also our members in Asia, they found their top priority for the coming 3 years as rebranding and repositioning of their market, penetrating new market, and innovation and digital transformation is the top priority. In the meantime, the government of Korea in charge of tourism see their top priority is the pace resumption and early recovery of inbound tourism market. And here, for the tourism status in Jeju Island, is known for one of the most visited islands in the world. And I understand that Jeju received 15 million tourists because of natural beauty and excellent infrastructure and facility with unique culture. And I remember that the former tourism minister of Korea last year that had a press conference in Spain, and he introduced Jeju Island as an ideal place destinations for outdoor sport and activities like surfing, trekking, and mountain climbing. And I remember that Jeju received 1.2 million international cruise passengers in the year of 2016. And also remember the following year that had 400 decrease, unfortunately. Here is my last slide for the policy recommendation to Jeju Island. And as I mentioned before, the sustainability and digital transformation are the two keywords that every single destination, whether it be well-developed or underdeveloped or developing economy, we have to focus on these sustainability and digital transformation have to be their daily work. And as the theme of this forum indicated, qualitative growth and quality-based tourism product is very important and should be more focused from now on. And instead of the target number of visitors, that we should be more focused on income and make sure that the people who visited Jeju Island should be staying much longer than before. And one good example is that if you may remember, Maldives is perhaps one of the only destination in Asia, if not the world, received almost the level of the 2019 before crisis, the tourist arrival. And then they found the average staying in Maldives has been increased 1.5 days. So they found that 7.5 days night stay, rather than the crisis. Before the crisis, they had a 6-night average stay in Maldives. And also, we certainly understand to penetrate new source market requires a lot of investment in terms of time, human resources, and of course financial means. So what about those the expatriates, not only in Korea, from the neighboring country, and also let's make sure that all those foreign visitors to Korea to extend their visit to Jeju Island. And lastly, that we want to remember Jeju as a premium destination and not as mass or group tourists. And I know many South Korean, they go to Switzerland, which is not a cheap destination, but premium destination. They save the money in order for them to enjoy the premium destination. So Jeju want to be remembered the premium destination, not only for Korean, but also to the foreign visitor. So in closing, the UNWTO is indeed proud to partner with the Jeju Tourism Organization, and we hope to continue further our fruitful collaboration in the future. And I also want to ask you to feel free to let me know if you have any question. I will be happy to give you full answer or other information through email. And I am very much looking forward the opportunity of seeing you or in person, whether it be in Madrid or in your beautiful countries. And thank you so much. And 감사합니다.